Yo, what up everybody? So before we get into the video, I gotta say thank you so very much for 60,000 subscribers. This is absolutely crazy. I thank each and every one of you guys, and those of you, all of you should know my YouTube story by now, hopefully. I think I've made a couple of videos, so hopefully you guys know the story. I'm more grateful than you guys realize, so every subscribe, every like, every share, every comment, it means the absolute world to me, man. Just to be able to be in this position, I mean, it's something that is completely humbling. And so for this Q&A, I wanted to do a 60,000 subscriber Q&A, and I said, hey, every topic is open and you don't have to just ask Naruto related questions, but try to ask only one question so I can get to as many people as possible, because in the past we've had multiple people asking more than one question, and I just want to try and be fair to everybody. I try to make these videos a little lengthy so I can get to as many people as possible, but I want to try and get to as many comments and questions as I can in this. So for this one, I have 483 different comments. So once again, thank you, because that's humbling as hell. So without any further ado, let's take a look at what we have for the comments, if my internet will load up. Alright, so Yashiro asked, he said, what Naruto power would you like to have in real life? What Naruto power would I like to have in real life? First of all, I'm going to give you a heart for that. I like that question. Man, you know what? If I could do anything, man, it'd either be between Flying Thunder God, because I'm constantly somebody who, while I'm on my way to work, like I live, this is so bad too, I live about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes if traffic is bad, away from my job, and I'm constantly leaving like 15 minutes before I can be there. So if I could do anything, it would definitely be Flying Thunder God so I can get to work on time. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, if I would really love to be able to do genjutsu, because I love to troll. Like, I love to troll. You can't really tell, like, I try and keep, you know, a lot of my stuff here as professional as possible, with the exception when I do the opinion videos or I do stuff unscripted like this video. I love to troll, man. Like, I'm always that guy, like, if you just give me an inch, I'm gonna run a 400-meter dash with it. So I mean, that's, man, it's between those two. It's between those two. So Cool Kid, Kakogan, I totally butchered that, man. Totally butchered that. Let's see. He said, what's the biggest or most controversial topic you disagree with people like Seth the Programmer, Sakagami, and so on, big Naruto related channels, be it on power scaling, an opinion, or a versus battle? Ooh, man. All right. I would say this. With versus battles, I tend to not really get like super worked up over the versus battles, which, just to be clear, like, I'm a fan of what Seth the Programmer does. I'm a fan of what Sakagami does, and I'm just name dropping those two because those are the ones you name drop. I like their content. So, oh man. So anyway, man. So when it comes to versus battles, those can go either way, and power scaling and everything. Like, when you start factoring in the different abilities, it's really up to an opinion as far as who you think can win for battles. So I don't really get caught up over those. Now, as far as my disagreement, I'll say right off top, man, like I disagree with what Seth the Programmer did for Kakashi's Purple Lightning. I get his logic behind it. I totally get his logic, and I respect the amount of research he did for it, but we have differing opinions on how powerful Kakashi's Purple Lightning is. You know, Seth tended to highball it, and I get it for, you know, his videos. You know, one of the things he likes to do is he likes to give you a high ball and a low ball for his calculations and for his findings, and it's something I respect because you're covering both ends of the conversation. I completely respect that, and it's something that, like, when you debate, you know, a trained debater, at least the way I was taught when I was on a debate team, is you have to be able to debate both sides of a topic. Otherwise, you're not a skilled debater. So I mean, I get what he's doing on that, but you know, I tend to put Purple Lightning below the Raikiri and below the Lightning Blade because of Kakashi's own thoughts about it. I feel like if Kakashi as a character sits there and says that it's inferior, then it's inferior. If Kakashi as a character looks at the meteor like he did in the Naruto the Last Novelization and says that, yeah, I'm gonna get killed now, I think we have to take that into account. So Improper Barney asked, he said, what are some abilities you want Boruto's Jougan to have? Oh man, I've done a video covering what the I believe it was the animator or one of the producers for the Boruto anime said that they were thinking about doing Boruto's Jougan, and if it was just me, if I had to pick something for the Jougan, I would really just limit that to being, I would say, space-time ninjutsu related. Like I really feel as if Boruto, if his eye is just something that can connect to the Otsutsuki clan, or it can just go directly to like their home world or home planet, I would love to see that, because it could save Sasuke a lot of chakra. Because like in the Boruto era, we've seen Sasuke get just nerfed. Same with Naruto, and it's been more so because of the circumstances and situations they've been placed in. Like in the manga, Naruto can't go all out because he's fighting near the village. In the Momoshiki battle, Sasuke used up a lot of his chakra using a teleportation jutsu to travel to another dimension, carrying 7 people, the 4 Kage, Boruto himself, Katasuke, and Katasuke's helper. And because that Sasuke wasn't at full power, Naruto had 50% of the Kyuubi's chakra ripped out. Like I don't really like the nerfing, so I would like to see that just for the fact that Sasuke could go all out. Alright, so Master Gamma Ifu says, why is Konoha so bloody powerful? How come Konoha was the only village strong enough to take out Akatsuki members? Kakashi talked about the balance of power early on, yet this balance of power never existed because Konoha is over 10 times stronger than the other villages. That's a good point. Like, Konoha is really overpowered, but I would say this. Part of the reason why I'm covering just different ninja from the different villages is because Naruto is such a Konoha-centric story, because Naruto is from Konoha, so of course Konoha is going to come off very overpowered. That's why I'm making it a mission to cover as many people from all the other different villages. That way you can see that there is some hacks in each village. And so when you start taking that into account, I do think there is balance, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, the Uchiha were from Konoha, the Hyuga were from Konoha, the Sarutobi were there, the Uzumaki were aligned with them, the Senju aligned with them. I mean, those are fair critiques, but I don't think it's as bad as you're making it out to be. But I've heard a lot of people say that, so hopefully I can change some opinions with these videos. So Boruto says, has your life changed in any way, good or bad, since becoming a successful YouTuber? Okay, man, damn it, Boruto, I skipped your other question. I totally skipped it, man. You said, are there any anime amongst the big ones that you dislike? If yes, which ones? Damn, I read both of your questions. For the anime, I'm gonna say, as far as anime I dislike, as far as the big ones, if I had to pick something, I'd say I dislike the One Piece anime. I love the manga, I dislike the anime. I think the anime's pacing is too slow. I think that the filler in One Piece, what I've seen so far, is not very good. And again, just the fact that it's adapting like half a chapter in an episode, maybe if we're lucky we'll get a chapter and a half, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Like, I hate that anime. I'm trying to give it an honest view because I love the manga and I'm almost caught up. So I'm trying to give it an honest view, but I just can't stand the anime, man. So going into your other question, you asked, has your life changed in any way, good or bad, since becoming a successful YouTuber? Well, first, I'm flattered that you even think I'm successful because, and I'm not saying that because, I got that Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality where it's like, I either win the championship or I don't. I said the journey to 1 million subscribers. So if it ain't 1 million subscribers, I'm not successful. I'm not saying that, but I am saying, like, there's so much I still have to learn about YouTube. There's so much I have to learn about editing and everything. Like, I mean, just recently, I had a Naruto content creator who I'm gonna keep their name private just for the fact that it was a private conversation. I don't want to put the business out there, but I had a Naruto content creator reach out to me and say, hey man, like, I think you got some good ideas, I think you make some good topics, but one of the things that's holding you back is like your thumbnails, man. Like, you really need to step that up. And so because of that, it's just like, okay, no, that's valid. So I mean, I know I have to learn from that. I know from collaborations I've done with Anime Balls Deep that my audio quality, while it's gotten a lot better, it's something that I can continuously work on. So I'd say, as far as how's my life changed, as far as when it comes to YouTube, I've learned that there's still a lot that I have to learn, and there's so much I'm working towards as far as improvement. And so I thank you guys for your patience and for the critiques I've gotten in the comment section. As far as personally how being a YouTuber's changed me, I would say this, man. when I had the Kryptonian Saiyan channel, and now with this one, you know, I was able to interview for a podcast position right when Kryptonian Saiyan was being terminated, and I didn't have any data or analytics to show, and it was for a position in Dallas, ironically, because I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a very proud New York Giants fan, and so I would have been in Dallas covering some sports content down there, but I didn't have anything to prove, and so I got passed over for the job. But you know, where I work at now, you know, I was given an opportunity to work on some documentaries with some people as far as with editing, and now I have a credit for something like that. So I mean, that's really cool. That's really cool. YouTube has opened some doors for me as far as that. So thank you for the question. And going forward, like I stated in the top part, I'm really gonna try and avoid answering multiple questions from different people, like from the same person. That way we can get to many people as possible. All right. Cracktoon Network says, can you make a video about 5 or 10 characters who could have been in the Akatsuki if they didn't die or got wasted, or at least give some examples in the Q&A? Damn, you know what, dude? That's a really dope suggestion for a video. I might do that. I'm working on a really big video right now. I might do that one. I might put this one on break, man. You know, sorry, Joe the Animator. You know a video I'm working on. Like, yo, I might have to put that one on hold for that. So, let's see. Miha Razavin. Sorry if I said your name wrong. He said, do you believe Boruto will be the end of the Naruto universe? If you're saying, do I think that Boruto Naruto Next Generations is going to be the final installment? I'm going to say yes. I think that, and I know like Forever World and some more people have said, oh, we're going to get a Naruto series that's going to be focused on Naruto, and Boruto and the other guys, they're going to be pushed to the background and they're going to give us that Naruto greatness. I'm going to say pump the brakes on it. I don't think that's happening. They've already done Boruto as a monthly series. It's going along well in terms of manga sales. The anime's doing well. So I mean, I think that the series will wrap up. I think Ikimoto said that he wants to end it around volume 30, so in about 6 or 7 years. I think this 3rd chapter will be it for the Boruto story, because despite the fact that they're creating new storylines, they're also closing in some of the stuff that Kishimoto wasn't able to do in the Naruto series, like the whole thing with the Souichi clans. I mean, I think this is going to be it, man. I think it's going to be it. So, I mean, I've seen Naruto through all this far. I hated the war arc and I read it, so I'm going to continue to read the series, man. So, let me see what Sinister says. All right, you asked 3 questions, so I'm going to answer the first one out. So, you said, which Susanoo is bigger, Sasuke or Madara's? I'd have to actually pull the manga panels up and look if I'm just going off top, because I just love Madoru Uchiha. I'm gonna say Madara's is bigger. I think Madara's is a lot bigger. I think Sasuke's in that Team 4-inch club. But with that being said, let's move on to the next one. So, Vuk Kiko says, can you rank all Ganins weakest from strongest in terms of power from both Naruto and Boruto, Konohamaru and Kawaki included? That's gonna be too long. Ooh, that's gonna be too long for a Q&A. It's gonna be too long for Q&A. I would say this, if I'll do this for the purposes of the Q&A, because like I said, for that I'd have to sit down and I have to actually go over the different characters and write it out. So I'll say this for a Q&A. If we look at the different members of Team 7 and we just rank them, if we look at the part 1 versions of them, then from weakest to strongest, I'm definitely going to put Sakura as the weakest member from part 1. So this is before the Tsunade training and all that. I'd say the next weakest, would probably, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I'm going to say the next weakest member is going to be Boruto. I know someone's like, Boruto. Yeah, I think Boruto is the second weakest member, and the reason why is, I get it, you know, and I'm not talking manga Boruto, just the anime. Because if we add the Karma Seal, we got to bump him up higher. But if we just go with what we've seen in the anime, I know he's got change in chakra nature and everything. And I know, you know, he's got the Vanisher Rasengan, I get it, he's got multiple changes in chakra nature, but we're talking weakest to strongest. I'm putting Boruto down there, man. I'm just putting Boruto there, because I mean, I think there's a lot of ways you can beat Boruto in a battle. I think the next person, I personally think that just from what we've seen in the anime, I think Sarada's a little bit stronger than Boruto. I think that Sharingan gives her the edge, and because that Jougan is so, what's the right to put it, in the anime, there's not a lot of information on it. I think that we have to hold that out, and because Boruto hasn't shown the abilities of the Karma Seal that we know that he has from the manga, I think that Sharingan edges Sarada out. So I'm definitely gonna say Sarada. I'm gonna say the next weakest person is gonna be Sasuke. Yeah, I know that. I know. Like I said, this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. I'm gonna put Sasuke there. I'm gonna say the second strongest member out of all members of Team 7 is gonna be Mitsuki, because that Sage mode is absolutely broken. Mitsuki is very skilled. He's very skilled, and between him and Sasuke, if you take Sage mode out, I think Sasuke edges him out. If you give Sasuke the curse mark and you give Mitsuki Sage mode, you might make the argument that you can put Sasuke higher. Again, it'll be something that I have to sit down and compare their abilities and then come to the conclusion. That's why I said I have to write these out before I just gave a real answer. And obviously I'd say Naruto, because that QB chakra is just enormous. It's enormous. It's a game changer. So Stephen Morgan says, smash or pass Delta. Man, you know what, man? Let me just undo the strings on the hoodie for a second. Let me undo the strings on the hoodie for a second. I'm about to get thirsty. I see, if this was Hanabi, I wouldn't just say smash or pass, right? I say just go balls deep and cream pie. But because it's Delta, right? Because it's Delta, I'd say I smash. But I consider passing them. I consider that. So I mean, you know, I like the dirty jokes, so I'm a definitely, and this one a joke, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Solo Slim says, why didn't Itachi or Sasuke use their father's eyes to get EMS? Always been on my mind. You know what, man? Like, I've thought about that too, and I'll just say a couple of things. Like in the anime, it was shown that Fugaku had the Mangekyo Sharingan. In both of the Itachi novels, it was very strongly, when I say strongly implied, it's almost like somebody coming up to you the day before your birthday saying, man, do I have a big surprise for you? And it's like, oh great, you're gonna have a surprise party for me. Oh great, you have me a gift. Like, that's how strongly it was implied. If somebody just came up and said, I got a surprise for you tomorrow, and tomorrow's your birthday. So I mean, it's never confirmed, but very strongly implied. So I think that that's one thing you have to consider. Now the other thing, if we go with the anime continuity, honestly, I think that Itachi didn't even consider taking Fugaku's eyes, largely because I think at that time period, I'm not sure if Itachi knew about the EMS. I think that was, I know he read the tablet, but I don't know if that's something that he might have found out when he was talking to Obito after the fact, man. I mean, that's just something, I'm not sure. As far as Sasuke, I mean, by the time Sasuke would have been able to take Fugaku's eyes, like Fugaku, at that point, Fugaku been rotting in the ground for half a decade. Hell, a little older than that. I don't want to say 8 years at that point. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense. There wouldn't be any eyes there unless you're saying that Orochimaru or Obito or Danzo, somebody collected his eyes. I don't think so. So I think that's why. So Kyle Little says, he says, what do you think Kishimoto could have done to help develop female characters better, like Hinata? I thought she had so much potential in part 1. I agree. And then she turned into the same girl in part 2. I agree too. With the tits the same with other minor female, because they all seem like side characters, even Sakura. I'm gonna agree with you on that. And it's something like, I've had private conversations with a couple of people who do Naruto content, and one of the things that I've made no secret, and I've talked about this in other videos, you know, Kishimoto admitted he can't write females and he can't write romance, and let's just take the romance out. Like, his female characters are bad. Like, Tsunade had a lot of potential, but then he just stuck Tsunade behind a desk. Like, the character arcs for his females, they're terrible. Like, I could sit down and do a whole discussion video about why the female characters in Naruto are the biggest waste of potential, and I would actually have to sit down and script that out word for word. So as far as what he could have done in order to make them better characters, I think that one thing you have to look at is I think when it comes to the female characters, let's start with Sakura, since she was part of Team 7 and she was the main heroine in the story up until about 2012 when Kishimoto, by his own admittance, halfway through the story decided, yeah, I think I'm going to switch it to Hinata being the main heroine. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I think that with Sakura, I think that Sakura's character, one of her problems, it came off, a lot of people felt like she was too focused on Sasuke. I don't think that was necessarily it, but I would have liked to have seen Sakura with an ambition, a goal of her own, something that was tangible, that we could say from the beginning of the series, this was her goal, and it wasn't something that was attached to Sasuke, and it wasn't triggered by something like Sasuke. And then at the end of the series, did she accomplish that goal? You know, like a good character, a character-driven story is a story where the character's choices and decisions alter the shape of the story. You have the main plot, and then you have what these characters want and desire, stuff that could derail the plot as it is. And that's something I would like to do. I would like to see more wants and desires out of the female characters that aren't reliant on their male counterparts. I would also like to see them go through an actual arc. Like on the Sasuke Path of the Tyrant video, I broke down each pivotal step in Sasuke's hero's journey. I would like to see someone like a Sakura or Tsunade, who started out on that heroine's journey and refusing the call of action when you look at her in the Naruto story. I really feel like Tsunade could have been a really, really good character if she would have got properly developed. So, I mean, I might do a video on that. Vic Kikos, I've already answered your question, man. I can't answer this. I want to get to more people. So DDG says, do you think Sakura and Sasuke would have another kid? I've seen a lot of people bring up the fact that Sasuke needs to have another kid in order to carry out the Uchiha legacy, if not just have a son. That way, like when Sarada marries somebody, the Uchiha name lives on. Like obviously the kid will have Uchiha blood, part Uchiha blood, but the name, I get that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. Though I will say this. You know, Kishimoto's so dead set on Naruto and Sasuke being equals, and you know Kishimoto's still the editor for Boruto. It wouldn't surprise me if like during that time skip it gets revealed like, yeah, Sasuke came in and said slip slip boom boom bam and Sakura has a baby. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me, man. I think that having a kid would actually very, very much tie into Sarada's dream to become the Hokage, because she'd have a little brother or sister that she'd be not only working to defend, but also someone that she would want to look up to her, not just their parents, and she could move on that path to Hokage. So I mean, I would like to see that. I would like to see that. So Arvin Brisson says, do you think the second will be proud of Danzo's actions? I do. I think that the second Hokage might have made some different decisions than Danzo. I really and truly believe that. Vic Kikos. All right, hey man, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support. You got a little over enthusiastic, man. I'm gonna give you your heart, man, for the passion. I'm gonna give you your heart for that. But again, I'm gonna try and get to as many people as possible. So Charles Costa says, how do you think the Otsutsuki war arc is gonna play out? Man, you know what? Let's say that is the direction that the Boruto series goes on, and it ends on that note. The one thing I want to happen more than anything else, I want there to be a real death, some real stakes in this war for Boruto's generation. Because I mean, like the Naruto war, it sucked. It sucked. Let me just say this again. The Naruto war sucked. Like I know there were some really cool fights, but like a war arc is supposed to tell us, what does the author say about humanity? What does the author believe that war is? What are the author's views on war? How are the main characters affected by it? And what ultimately is the resolution of this? How did all this tie into the theme of the war? I think that this war sucked. Like if you look at Full Metal Alchemist, how they had their coup d'etat, and you look at the characters' motivations and that build up, I think it was better handled than what Naruto had. I'll even go a step further. I think that the Naruto war arc is a few pegs above what Fairy Tail did for his war arc. Like I don't think it was well executed. the fan service moments, the awesome fight scenes and everything don't make up for the narrative ball being dropped. So if we had a Otsutsuki war arc, I would want to see somebody from Naruto's generation, somebody major, actually pass away. That way Boruto's generation fully understands the horrors of war. And I think someone from Boruto's generation needs to be killed off or needs to be permanently disabled. And the reason being is that they grew up in this time of peace. They don't know anything other than peace. They need the wake-up call. And I'm really curious to see how this generation handles it, because this generation is being written basically as the iGen generation, the generation after the millennials. That's basically how they're being written. So the generation behind me, because I'm a millennial. You know, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because how Kodachi writes this and how Ikimoto illustrates it is gonna be very reflective of how their generation, that older generation, views our group and the group under me. So your generation, most of you guys, because you're 13 to 18. So I mean, it's gonna be very interesting to see how they believe that we view war. So I mean, that's what I want to see. So let's see. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, sharing. None of this would be possible without you guys. So I thank you so much for it. And just as a final announcement, I'll probably do a pinned comment for this. So I am going to be doing the Boruto anime. I am going to be doing the anime. And a lot of you guys have been asking me to do the reviews. So the anime reviews, I'm going to be doing those probably in the next few weeks. I know I've said that before, but I'm going to be doing them in the next few weeks. I've been working on videos to try and get ready for something that's getting ready to happen. I have a relative who is getting ready to have a kid, and she's gonna be living with me for a little bit, and so I wanted to get as much content created as possible, because when she comes down here, I'm not gonna be able to crank out as much content during that time period. So that's why I've pushed off doing the Boruto anime as well. I discovered Full Metal Alchemist for the first time and I watched it, so that was the other thing. But the reason why I say that is, so I've started something over on the Patreon, where if you guys become a patron, one of the things I'm going to start doing is in the Boruto chapter reviews and in the Boruto anime reviews, the people who are patrons, one of the things I'm going to do is just add you guys in the end credits, where you know you get a thank you, which is also going to be a shout out, and everybody sees your name on there, and it's just part of that ramen bowl alliance I'm trying to build. Now I want to have 1 million ramen bowls sitting at the table for the community that we're building, and I'm going to be doing other things over on Patreon as time goes on. Like all my old videos, like I've got them up on Kryptonian Saiyan right now, but I'll move those and I'll make some Patreon exclusive stuff just to do over there, because I'm limited to what I can do with YouTube. So I mean, that's the first thing. The second thing is the what if Naruto married Sakura video hit the required number of likes, so I am working on a part 2. However, what I am going to tell you guys is I'm waiting on some artwork for that. I commissioned somebody for it, and I want to see what they do on the commission before I reach out to somebody to do the thumbnail. So that video is going to be a while, but you guys answered the call to action. We're going to be doing it. So with all that being said, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.